Virgo rising, there's a total solar eclipse in your 12th house of Leo. What will that mean for you specifically? I'm Sook. You're awesome. Let's talk about it. An eclipse is considered a pretty significant event and is symbolic of major beginnings and major endings in our lives. Virgo rising, for you specifically, this eclipse will take place on your health axis, the 12th being psychological health and the 6th being your physical health. Now, all eclipses, or the majority of eclipses, I should say, are taking place on this same axis. And if you would like a more in-depth reading about the next 18 months, feel free to head over to the video I've already posted about it. It's directly under this. It's called Virgo Rising the next 18 months. Just saying. This particular video only covers this one eclipse that's happening on the 12th or the 13th of August in your 12th house of Leo. Let's break it down. The energetic signature of Virgo is not really like Leo. It answers the question of Leo. So if Leo is really passionate about its own interests, wanting to take the spotlight, Virgo is a lot more humble, a lot more discerning about its talents, skills, gifts, and abilities. It has a very high standard. It can be very perfectionistic. So showing off doesn't come naturally, let's say. So immediately, this eclipse doesn't tell me it's necessarily about externalized, extroverted events. It's much more about your introverted self, your internal world. The 12th house can be about our psychological and mental health. But for me, I think it might be a case of you guys selling yourself short a bit, being a little bit too perfectionistic potentially, not being visible, not allowing your work to shine, or not allowing the things you do, the things you're good at, to truly be recognized. So immediately, is there any psychological resistance to your work, the work you do behind the scenes that no one watches potentially, no one can actually see? You just take the initiative to do it on your own. Have you become psychologically resistant to actually making that more visible so in theory you could be validated or recognized for it? Are you naturally neglecting, avoiding, or inhibiting your ability to receive a compliment? As a Virgo, there can be a sincere approach to acts of service, to be effective, to help others, and not actually allow yourself to be recognized for the effort you put in. Underneath the surface, is there some kind of resentment that you're not actually seen for your leadership ability, for all that invisible work you do? Now, I'm not necessarily asking you to throw yourself in the limelight and demand attention, not at all. But in solitude, when you are on your own, can you find peace with the work you do, with the quality of the work you do? Now, another interpretation I could see happening here is you could be overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed, and you refuse to ask for help. You refuse to get therapy potentially. You refuse to look for some kind of rehabilitation if you've been abusing substances, or just overdoing it in some way. Has it come to a point where you are carrying a lot of emotional baggage or psychological baggage, and you don't want to share what you're actually going through with others because you don't want to cause drama in their life? Are you scared of feeling like you will be a burden on others if you do? Additionally, another angle I could take with this is that your chart ruler Mercury is in the 12th house. It's opposed to Pluto in the 6th house. Are you nursing some kind of injury or illness that no one else knows about? Are you behind the scenes taking care of someone else? Are you the caregiver and they're not actually showing you the respect you deserve? Or quietly, have you taken on too many roles and responsibilities in your place of work because you think everyone else lacks the competence to do so? Or potentially, is there some kind of power clash at work, facts versus opinions, you and another colleague not seeing eye to eye? Do you feel like there are some hidden enemies, people that you thought were your friends that have actually betrayed you in some way? And I'm talking about people that you see on a daily basis at work. These could be, work colleagues or even people that work under you. The Mercury is relatively well supported. It's getting a trine to Neptune and a sextile to Uranus up in the 10th house. So again, I do feel like the roles and responsibilities at your work have drastically changed recently, and the dust hasn't settled yet. And there's this ability for you to absorb all the work that you don't think other people are competent in completing themselves. Marketing, branding, creative work, architecture, working in the beauty industry potentially. It's all pretty favorable for you, and there is very much a creative spark here. And whatever you are doing behind the scenes, there is an opportunity that you actually get a new contract soon, strike a new deal, get a new income stream. The Mercury is forming a sextile down to Venus, and Venus is in its dignity in your 2nd house of finances. So potentially you're working very hard, but there is an opportunity here to get the bag, to get the contract, to secure some money in some way. But what is the physical and mental tax in the meantime that you're enduring to do so? I really do see Virgo rising quite withdrawn in this time, working extremely hard and potentially not being validated or seen for it. As long as there is an end goal that you're working towards, then that is kind of favorable. But I would caution against isolation. Solitude and isolation are two very different things. If you're voluntarily putting yourself into solitude because you're trying to heal from something, grieve from something, move on from a loss potentially, Saturn is in your 8th house of death and rebirth, that's okay. Take your time. But if you feel somewhat bitter or shameful or guilty for something, and that's why you've isolated yourself from your friends, your family, and you've just gone into hardcore work mode, become a workaholic, then maybe that's something that you should talk to someone about. You are allowed to ask for help. You don't need to be of utility to others to be loved. Many of you might actually be really struggling to get a good night of sleep, but if you do, I want you to pay attention to your dreams. Psychoanalyze your dreams if need be. I imagine some of them will be an opportunity to listen to your more impulsive, unconscious self. What does it have to say about you in this time? In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if many of you are kind of doing a day job, doing a side hustle, and doing a part-time job. And there's a lot going on. You're spinning a lot of plates at the moment. And potentially, again, this is a low-key lack of trust that other people will not be competent or be able to understand the sheer amount of logistics or expertise you need in the particular area of passion, interest that you are really working on or incubating in this time. Again, you are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to find a mentor, someone to guide you through this period. You don't have to do it on your own. Just saying. Now, if you've entered in some kind of agreement, buying a house together with someone, taking up a mortgage with someone, potentially you are starting to see behind the rose-colored glasses, see behind the veil. You may have had a rather novel or shallow agreement with someone. You thought it was going to work out really well, but now you're coming to the conclusion that in reality, the consequences of that agreement mean that you need to take on a lot more than you thought you were going to have to. The best thing you could really do is remember that there is time. There is no need to rush. Deduction is key here. Have you filled up your day with too many unnecessary routines that are actually exhausting you? Review them, as well as reviewing your sleep habits. In other words, your nervous system is asking you to ground yourself and rest. Now, if you haven't already withdrawn, it's an excellent time to get on top of your sleeping habits, for example. Go to a retreat. If you need to do some deeper study or deeper research, that's also very favorable. If you're working in a very busy office, I would say that you're getting distracted too easily with idle gossip potentially. Find a more quiet space to be a little bit more productive. What I'm trying to do here is reset your nervous system, reset any of your anxiety. And I think taking yourself out of your usual environments and introducing yourself to more quiet or even natural spaces will be really healthy for you. Now, as a thank you for watching this entire video, please feel free to send me a DM. I'll send you a coupon code for 30 Australian dollars off my natal and birth chart readings exclusively for new clients. Hope that helps. Goodbye.